Anthropic, I put out a video that a lot of people didn't like. I think for good reason. I misrepresented them a bit. So I was saying at the beginning of the video, Anthropic is having a really rough year, which I think is true. So Anthropic, they're being investigated by the Pentagon, or not even investigated. The Pentagon is potentially calling them a supply chain risk because they got into a disagreement because Anthropic weren't very happy about Claude models being used in relationship to the coup, the kidnapping, I'm not sure what we're calling it, in Venezuela. Anthropic, but that's not really what we signed up for. The Pentagon, or the Department of War, is now threatening to call Anthropic, the company, a supply chain risk. That is normally only levied out on companies who are foreign enemies, a Russian company, maybe a Chinese company. For it to be threatened against Anthropic, not great, bad news. To be clear, I'm on the Anthropic side, standing up to the Department of War. Great, fantastic, standing up for your morals. What I'm saying, though, is that Anthropic are having a rough 2026 because they had the whole OpenClaw. Yeah, it's a PR misstep. Claudebot came out. Claudebot was extremely popular. It's the fastest growing open source piece of software in history, like faster than Linux, really fast. It's extremely popular. Made pretty much by one guy, Peter Steinberger, and his collaborators, but he's doing most of the work. If you look at his commits every day, it is madness. So he's been putting in the work. So that went viral. It was called Claudebot, which sounds an awful lot like Claude. His was spelled C-L-A-W-D. Theirs is spelled C-L-A-U-D, but it sounds the same. It sounds identical. I spent a whole week changing my subtitles. Every time I auto-generated subtitles, it thought I was saying Claude, C-L-A-U-D. So Anthropic legal department sent him a cease and desist saying, absolutely not, you've got to change the name. They had every right to do. You have to protect your intellectual property. And if you don't protect your intellectual property, it dilutes. And then when somebody infringes it later on purpose, then there's been a precedent of you not protecting and defending your IP, and that can dilute your trademarks and dilute your intellectual property. So they had to do it. However, it was a bit of a PR disaster because the lawyers sent a cease and desist, really upset Peter, and Peter was quite visibly upset on Twitter. He changed the name to Moltbot, M-O-L-T, basically in a panic. I think he did it at about 5 a.m. When he changed the name, announcing he was changing the name before he'd secured the domains. So somebody grabbed the domain, launched a crypto scam. So this poor Peter, he was getting hit by legal threats, had a crypto scam in his name. He's got the fastest growing open source piece of software in recorded history, with everybody screaming at him to add this and fix this and do this. One dude sitting in Austria. So he had a hell of a week. A couple of days later, he changed it to OpenClaw because the name Moltbot was terrible and everyone agreed it was terrible. A week or so after that, he got hired by OpenAI, by ChatGPT. So all of this, Anthropic come out looking like the kind of corporate bad guys here. They had to protect their IP, they had to protect their trademark, but from a PR point of view, it didn't look great. At the same time, what they were doing, they were blocking access. If you were using your Claude subscription, if you were using it in OpenClaw, they would shut down your account. They are pushing hard on that now. They've started to do this with OpenCode as well. So a lot of people were like, screw you, I'm going to use OpenCode. I'm going to use Claude through OpenCode. And now Anthropic have also come down on OpenCode. So they are throwing their weight around, stopping third parties from accessing, stopping us from using our Claude subscriptions, which we might pay $200 a month for in third-party applications. Again, totally within their rights. This is in their terms of services, but it comes across as them being this multi-billion-dollar company stomping on individuals like Peter Steinberger, stomping on kind of darlings of the AI engineering scene like OpenCode, because they don't want people to play with their toys. So it comes across poorly. Again, legally, 100% agree with what they're doing. They have every right to do so. They're not looking great as a result of this. The most recent development of this is this OpenCode. Anthropic genuinely disgusts me. Who is this guy? I'm not sure who he is. Sorry, Robin. They sent a legal notice to OpenCode making official what many have feared. External tools are now explicitly prohibited from using or even orchestrating Claude code. No more OpenCode, no more Conductor, no more OpenClaw, no more similar tools. This is the exact opposite for OpenAI, GitHub, and GitLab, which all explicitly allow you to use your subscriptions in other tools, so you can choose freely what fits your workflow best. Anthropic are the only one throwing a tantrum. Vote with your wallets, people. Legally, 100% Anthropic can do this, but it is rubbing people the wrong way. It is pissing them off. The video that I did yesterday, Anthropic is having a really bad year. 2026 has been rough for them. They've got really great models. I think they're a really interesting company from a point of view of PR and their public image. They've managed to burn an awful lot of goodwill. This is because of them stomping on developers, stomping on indie developers. It looks like this billion-dollar juggernaut bullying and throwing around their weight. Legally, they can do it. From a marketing and PR point of view, it's problematic because a lot of their customers, people who are spending $200 a month or more on the API, are coders, are programmers. And now we're seeing this push where people are saying, screw you guys, and we're going off to ChatGPT because they have a good model now, Codex 5.3. We've been relying on Claude Code for the last couple of years, but if you're going to behave like this, if you're going to cut us off, if you're going to bully, if you're going to stomp on open source creators, then we're just going to go and take our money elsewhere. So they've burnt a lot of goodwill, which is a shame because Anthropic were the goodies. They were always the good guys in artificial intelligence, but now we're seeing a lot of corporate dick swinging. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if people actually cancel their subscriptions, but it's a shame to see them burn so much goodwill in such a short amount of time. Lyra says, oh, Anthropic, come on. I was all in for them, was looking to move API from OpenAI, but now it looks the same as OpenAI, another crappy corporation. Yeah, they are. They're a corporation, which we knew. It's just now that is, oh, they're billionaires. Oh, they're shitty. I think it's that realization that, oh, they're just as bad as everyone else is a little bit disappointing because they were always the one who at least put themselves forward. And I don't believe it's cynical, but they were always the one who were worried about safety, regulations, ethics. I think that was understood as, oh, maybe they're doing this for the right reasons and they're going to be helping the little guys and they're going to be helping other people use AI more democratically. But it looks like instead they are just another multi-billion-dollar corporation. They're also heading towards the IPO, so that's going to have considerations there. And they want to protect their brand. I fully get it. I understand why they're doing it. I just think it's going to come across very poorly.